all three. So we include open source as well as government data sets through T-Hub and Math, so that startups can access the overall volume of data out there to train the models that they're working on. Second is of course infrastructure. So at T-Hub in our basement we have some data centers deployed as well, and we have partnered up with NVIDIA, where even in NVIDIA office there are some GPUs which any of the startups that are working with us can utilize that, especially if they're very early stage, not if they are in growth stage. We don't have that sort of capacity. But if somebody is building a prototype and they want to move, test their products, then that's the kind of GPU volume or the support that we have. Last but not the least, of course, compute is one of the main challenges everybody has, which is compute costs are skyrocketing. So that is where we strategically partnered with several global providers, GCP, Microsoft Azure, as well as AWS, and some local partners as well, where we offer these cloud credits at almost no cost to subsidized pricing, depending on how much requirement each startup has. So anywhere between 10,000 USD worth of cloud credits to almost 100,000 USD worth of cloud credits is what we support our startups with. So more than sufficient for anybody building early stage to move from early stage to growth stage. That is where we are able to intervene and support our startups. Beyond that, of course, we do so many corporate programs where we connect anybody who's in B2B space with several corporate clients that we have within India, across India. International programs team, they take care of all international partnerships to our startups. So, yeah, this is how we try and support from their market access perspective, technology perspective. We also have a funding desk where we connect them with the right kind of investors who are looking to invest in this kind of sectors or verticals that they're working in. Usually, if you know, it's both vertical and horizontal that we have any AI startup working in. We also have in hardware AI, so a lot of them working on edge accelerator chips, AI infrastructure, AI environment, or sandbox creation. So across all these segments, if there are any investors who are looking to invest in early stage startups, we are always there to support them. So these are some things. If you have any specific questions, happy to answer. Yeah.
You mentioned access to data sets for like model training, right?
Yes.
Do these work where you get certain access to government data sets to train, or how does it work? How are these open source anyway?
So these are open source first. I mean, anyway, they are open source. We also have two aspects of it. One is public data sets and private data sets. So we have some private partners as well, largely in healthcare as well as in deep tech space with some of the uh, research institutes that we have tied up with, as well as healthcare is our largest data sets providers that we have, which are private. Public, because we are also part of government of Telangana, we have support from government of India. We include open data sets and also some data sets which are not probably public yet through the partnerships
So,
that we
for
have.
early access.
Early access sort of a thing. And one of the probably incentives of being part of us is, let's say sometimes a startup has a certain request, which until and unless the request is placed, you cannot understand whether the data set can be made available to them or not. So we even take these requests from our startups. Just giving you an example, right? There was a recent healthcare startup that wanted pulmonology related data sets from government hospitals across India. So we put that request with the government, and then the government will ensure that these data sets are made available to the startups. So it's a two-way street for them.
How do you all play around with privacy? Because in this set, you're giving the data ultimately to a business, right? Do you all play the
Totally valid. So again, all the data is anonymized. Right now, until and unless anybody who has declared that, hey, I'm only sharing the data or my specific healthcare data, for example. So there's a consent specific data sets only that we try and make it available. Going forward, we are also looking at how can we evolve this in such a way that we are sharing this as per DPDP Act. So that is the major data protection act that anybody in India will be following. So unless and until it is compliant with DPDP Act, we don't share it with startups. Yeah.